and I believe I read this from you, that Arizona and possibly Connecticut are trying to carve out ALPR requests from disclosure under the FOIA laws.
Yes. So briefly, when I got my information back, I found several license plates, close-ups. We're not talking about passing cars, close-up, close-ups of plates that are not mine that are tied to my data. I went to my police department and another police department and said, hey, can we get these deleted, corrected? What do we do here? And the answer was no. Not only was it no, my city went and made a new policy where no one else is going to be able to FOIA for their own information.
We've developed a policy on how to handle these public records requests and what is public records generally accessible to the public, and what does fall within those exceptions for privacy interests or best interests of the state. As you referenced, there is no state statute that directly addresses LPRs, and as often happens when you have these fast emerging new technology, it takes a while for government to catch up. There's no case law on it. You have to look at what is analogous records in statute, what is analogous records in previous case decisions, and try to figure out where that fits. And then working with the police department, we spent quite a bit of time over the last couple months, I would say, really diving into what makes the most sense in providing access and respecting the general Arizona law provision that, public records should be open to the public unless it fits into one of these exceptions that's well developed in case law. So we think that certain aspects of this probably does fall within those exceptions. And there are some privacy interests that probably needs to be respected. There are some operational issues that the police department needs to protect that from public records. So I guess that's a long answer to say, working with the police department, we've developed we think a defensible policy that we probably would not handle that exactly the same way we handled it back then. No.
They then took that policy and got it written into state legislation so that nobody in the state of Arizona or anyone driving through here would be able to FOIA and get their own license plate data, this digital dossier that the government is able to create.
So the biggest problem you have with it is this bill is the fact that the public cannot ask, what do you have on me? Because that seems like a pretty important thing, and that there's no way to correct it. So those two parts, is that your biggest concern?
It's AI that's getting this wrong. I trust my police department all day long. I know that they're training. I think they do a phenomenal job. The problem is this AI technology is not always accurate by the photos. And the fact that I don't know what's stored, I can't go and say, hey, there are 6 plates and 2 cars that are not mine. I can't get that corrected. It's very, very concerning to me every time I get in my car.
Thank you.
I went and testified about this, and it completely changed the course of the conversation. And there is a state senator here who ended up creating and writing, authoring, sponsoring another bill that would make sure that people could FOIA for their information.
The Fourth Amendment is not a suggestion. It is a command to government. You do not search people without probable cause and without a warrant.
So now we have these two competing bills. One that says we can use license plate readers as they're already being used. No data retention policy, no warrant, nobody can FOIA for their information. The competing one, Senator Hoffman's bill, says people can FOIA, you must get a warrant, and very, very strict guardrails, which would be the strictest in the country.
Perhaps the jurisdictions that deployed these were not transparent, didn't give folks advance notice. Okay, shame on them. Fact of the matter is, they're out there now. And this is, as you put it, this is basically setting up guardrails and standards for something that's already out of the barn.
I just talked with our Senate president today who said there's no consensus on either bill. So they're both just sitting there right now. What do you think about the fact that here in Arizona, we can't FOIA just for our own. I'm not looking for, Betty's information or anyone else. I just want to know what the government has stored on me, and now I can't do that. What do you think about that?
I think that's horrific. You're not under, as far as I know, Jen, you're not under investigation. You're not a criminal. You're not suspected of anything. You're a private citizen driving around wherever you're doing, whatever it is, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, you're being captured probably every time you leave the house. Uh, I don't know what the concern is.